Hello, welcome to Sunday morning coffee. Hey, good morning. Grab your coffee, tea, or water, or one of those green drink things that people are doing right now. Cheers, it's Sunday. It is sunny here. I'm very grateful for that. As empaths, we are so very sensory. Sensory. So I'm going to appreciate the sun energy, the solar energy, that uplifting transition into hopefully lighter times. We're going to talk about timelines again today. We've talked about, I think I've talked about them before, but I'm going to go deeper and really share some legit stuff that I've been seeing in sessions this week about the timelines. And knowing that you are probably impacted. If you're not, you got to be like completely ignorant. Maybe you're a robot. I don't know. Maybe you're an AI thing. I have no idea. But the energy of the timelines is something that we really should talk about, and how it affects empathic people, which is basically everybody, because empathic energy is how we connect. That's how we are in relationship. That's how we pick up on vibes of our loved ones or our partners or random strangers, or we think we're picking up on vibes, but really it might just be our own stuff that is bouncing toward a person and bouncing back off. And what we're really seeing in that person is a reflection of ourselves. It is a reflection of ourselves. So the stuff you don't like in other people, it's because you don't like it in yourself. And we don't always make those correlations because we swoop right into the empathic energy of emotion, and we start feeling stuff, and we feel triggered, and we feel all sorts of things, and we're carried into this place of abyss and emotion, and we just start to feel yucky. So today, the timeline thing, we got to spend some time on that. And I'm going to bring in some sensory things to support us while we're doing that. Okay, so I brought some little extra things into our session today, which Sunday morning coffee feels like. I mean, I know it's a podcast where we just chat and talk about intuitive topics, energy stuff that happens. I've been doing this. I've been doing psychic and intuitive life coaching work and energetic coaching and healing work for 20 years. So that I have a lot of tools. So I want to make sure I share those and pass those along to you. So one is that I just got yesterday. So I was able to go to True Nature Yoga and Ayurveda studio in Baldwin, Wisconsin. So I was able to go there yesterday, and I attended a workshop about Ayurveda because I've been really interested in the doshas and the energies and different ways to interact and understand my body and my energy. I'm open to that, right? And if you're a yogi person, you kind of get that anyway. I mean, it's kind of been more popularized. I'm interested in it as far as working with the energy of my body in a unique way to be able to support my own healing journey, and also then bring in some nutrition components of that based upon body type. So it's a Eastern medicine, basically, or an Eastern, not medicine, maybe perspective, we'll say. But so I got this rose water spray. It's a soothing aromatherapy spray. It is so awesome. So I'm going to use it. Actually, I probably shouldn't shake it, but it's rose water. So it's not just pure rose oil at all. It's not like that. Rose, by the way, directly rose oil is extraordinarily expensive if you get the really true, really high quality oil, which if you're interested in rose oil, I would really point you to the $165 for a tiny little bottle. But it's worth it because it's beautiful. It's the true legit priestess divine feminine rose oil curated by a person, a singular person, from the emeraldtempleoils.com. Diana Dubrow, I can't speak of that. Diana Dubrow, she's curated them for years and just has so much connection energy. She's a metaphysical priestess, but she's such an ancestral, just a wise energy wealth of information. So her oils, those are the oils you see me use, by the way. Those are these. And I would strongly suggest, these are the huge bottles. There's no way you're getting rose in this kind of bottle. That's quality for less than, this would probably be, I would guess, maybe $300. Truly, I'm not kidding you, for that size. So you're probably going to get something that's more like, you get something that's this size. I'm going to put this close to the screen. You can do a screenshot. It's called emeraldtempleoils.com. This is the priestess oil. This is one I use daily, every day. I actually use this as like perfume for myself. I use this every single day. And I adore it. It has blue lotus in it, which is gorgeous. So we're talking about senses and sensory things because it supports us. It's a tool to support us. So this timeline thing, you're going to need some of that stuff because you're going to feel like you're crazy. You're going to feel cray-cray more than you've ever felt cray-cray in your life. Maybe I should have titled this cray-cray. So we're going to use this rose spray. I'm just feeling the vibration of it. I'm like, what does it want? Does it want me to shake it? It doesn't like the shaking, I don't think. The vibration doesn't feel right to shake. So we're going to spray this. Oh, I like it. Also, you can do rose water yourself. You can just get it at a co-op, the kind that you put on your face. Not complicated, like a spray, like a spritzer. Don't just go to Target and get it. That's not like a quality scenario. Okay, just don't do that. Because if you're empathic, you're going to be sensitive to stuff. You'll feel the vibration of the rose is just such a holder. Like it holds, it has a nice foundation and it holds us, it cuddles us. Like that bowl of the belly energy kind of just cuddles us and holds us. And it's smells good, uplifting. Okay, it's that vibe. Okay, that's the vibration of it, divine feminine. So that's a really good energy to use. So rose, the scent of rose. Okay, so sensory, empathic. The other thing is I got this in the mail from one of you, and it's New Jersey Imaging Network. One of you that's going through the breast cancer stuff. And thank you. Got this. She sent this because she said that it might help my left hand get stronger again, or maybe it's because it's like a stress ball. You know what I mean? So thank you for this. So something in your hands is what I'm bringing this in for. Something in your hands. Now you've seen me use other things too. Like I love this. This is my little square, my Nido stuff. This isn't just for kids or for those of us who have trouble focusing, but stuff with your hands, like keeping your hands busy is a good, and sensory stuff, like stuff that's squishy or stuff that's has some resistance, so that you can work through the resistance in a way and release the resistance in the way from your healing hands that is productive for you or safe for you, is healthy. That's the word I'm looking for. Healthy. Okay. So we got that. So we talked about rose, we talked about oil, scent, spray, and then we talked about stuff for your hands, like kind of like you'd say maybe fidgets, but like stress balls, stress relievers, stuff like that. It's just releasing the energy from your hands, And now a nice deep breath in. Let's put that energy down the spine, out the tailbone or the sacral chakra there. Yeah, nice, huh? You feel that connection? As soon as I did that, I feel something in my heart space. All right. Let's soften it a little bit. What is that? Interesting. All right. So I'm going to double check my sound. Let's make sure I'm talking and you hear me. Oh, good. Okay, you do. Yay. All right. Okay. So timelines. Let's talk about timelines. It literally feels like a sci-fi television show right now, like an old school one, because timelines are so sucky right now. And why I say that, because not because like time is layered, not because of that, but because of so much that's going on. It seems like we collectively perhaps have had the opportunity for quite a few years now since that big pandemic came through and kind of tried to clear everything out, to continue to release and evolve and grow and reconnect and rebuild. And we haven't perhaps taken full advantage of that opportunity as individuals, haven't done our collective releasement work in a healthy and safe and productive way. And now we're in this place where people are on different timelines, and you yourself and me myself, I can be in different spaces at the same time or at different times throughout my day with different topics and issues and with different people. And you can see this because it seems like some people are getting ahead of themselves and some people are being left behind. That's the kind of energy you can see. And it's not a pulling, like a pull, it's not a tug of war. There's not a fight over timelines. It's not like that. But collectively, it feels as though there are many, many opportunities and choices and empowered self-agency to the point where people can be, it's like you're manifesting and you're living your life in a way that is you're very committed to for yourself, even if you don't know that you're committed to it. This is so hard to explain. And other people don't understand that. This is why people are so like judgmental and really, really afraid of what's different. People are starting to notice the difference as the separation. People are noticing people doing their own thing too much, that it feels separate. But the truth is when people get really afraid about people evolving and sharing new things and doing things differently, they start to question themselves about what they haven't allowed themselves to do. And so there's this like feeling of sadness and grief, but it's coming out as fear and anger, and it's directed right toward other people. Like hate is kind of showing up as like, I hate you for making me feel like I'm less than. But really, somebody living their life the way they're choosing to live their life really has nothing to do with you. If they're not attacking you or they're not taking something away from you, it's such a scarcity. The timeline thing is such a scarcity mindset that's keeping the timeline separate. So some people are still going, like they're like, I'm still evolving. I'm going to keep doing my personal work. I'm going to keep dealing with my shadow work. I'm going to keep working on my personal scarcity mindset. I'm going to keep healing myself. I'm going to keep trying new things and learning new things like Ayurveda or whatever your thing is to support you and to support then you, the lineage that you're leaving behind you, the legacy you're creating. And some people are finding others in groups and connecting, and then they're holding on really tight, like super tight, like tight knit is becoming suffocated, and it's strangling the blood flow for new ideas and a dissension to coexist and to have debate and get to a point where you can disagree and be okay with that and still be friends and all that. It becomes this like almost territorial energy. When somebody else is different, then it's like, oh my gosh, I got to protect myself because they're going to make me different too. And it's like, no, that's not the point of that person living their life, however they're choosing to live their life. Their timeline is just different. That's it. We're not all the same. And if we are all the same, that doesn't mean we're connected. That doesn't mean we're all kumbaya together and as God intended, or goddess or Sophia or whoever you consider prime creator, cosmic consciousness, source, whatever that is for you, that collective oneness unity. It's not about eliminating the differences. It's not about that. It can't be, or we'd never evolve and grow as a society. So why are these timelines so different? Why is it all of a sudden seem like we're back in when did women get the right to vote? The Susan B. Anthony thing, was that in the 20s? Or was that in the 15s or something? 1915, 1920, 1930. I don't remember. It's not 1930. It's before that. But it's like, it feels like we're all of a sudden back. And I feel like I'm on Little House on the Prairie, like an episode of Little House on the Prairie. Uh, Nellie Olson. There's a lot of mean Nellie Olsons out there. You guys know what I'm talking about, right? Nellie Olson, Little House on the Prairie. Do you know what I'm talking about? Like, she's the bad guy. She's the bully. She's the stuck up girl. She's the mean girl, that kind of thing. And why is she so mean? Why are people so mean? Because they feel limited, because they feel the pressure of confinement and restriction. And in the group that they're in order to be accepted, they cannot dissent. They cannot break from the norm. They cannot experience learning and growth in the way in which that some people in other communities or other groups can. They just can't. So like if they're in a very dogmatic structure in their family of origin, in their family group or their community, then of course they're going to become exactly like that, because that's the intention, is to pass that down. And every group has that to some degree. But there has to be this built in order for the timelines to be able to be flexible and manifestable and co-creative. There has to be some kind of give, it's like the stretchy jeans, right? You got to have some Lycra in there. You got to have some of that. And groups that try so hard, whether it's a family or like a little nuclear family, not understanding their child, or why one of the siblings marries somebody that looks different, or is from a different culture, or whatever that is, or even like different socioeconomic class or something like that. They just don't understand that, like they don't want outsiders. And the reason why they don't want outsiders is because there's a very strict confining structure, and there's this fear that they will lose a part of themselves, or they will lose some sense of control, which keeps them safe. And that's just like psychology, right? People are just trying to survive at the bare core. And so some people, some of us, especially people who are into artists and creatives, they just open up so much more to, I think, what's different and unique, and trying different things and experimenting and being okay with that, and recognizing sometimes it's a mistake. It's like a baker that tries a new recipe. Oh, that was a mistake. Too much ginger. That's a mistake. And some of the mistakes that we make, the things that we try are really big ones, right? But we can bounce back from that. We can heal from that. We can learn and grow from that, right? There's a lot of pressure to conform or to stay confined. And conformity isn't even the thing. It's to stay confined. And because of that, some people, entire families, entire groups of people, entire communities are in that timeline. So if you leave and go to a meeting with other people and they're talking about things that are like archaic and like historically, we've been there before, like we've been here before, like we're reliving this history, it's because that group is collectively at that moment in that timeline. Do you understand what I'm saying? So like where women don't have rights or where women don't work out of the home, 1950s housewife vibe going on. And that's where like people are drinking and, having affairs and doing all these things on the down low because not happy, I mean, it's just there's so much that we're revisiting. And so it seems like we're repeating timelines, or I'd like to just say that we're on different timelines, which means if we're on different tracks, it's okay, because it's kind of like we're on different paths. However, that is extraordinarily complicated if you are doing psychic readings. So I'm going to give you a warning, and it is a warning. This is a caution label. Okay, this is all the side effects, right? If you are pursuing psychic readings and you are like just going to somebody that's going to get their little card deck out and give you a reading, that is for that moment in time. Make sure when you ask questions that you are clear which timeline you're on. The time that is now, in the time that is now, right here and right now. If you're asking about a romantic partnership, make sure that you're asking about the time that is now for you and the time that is now for them. So if you're asking, this is this person thinking about me right now, you ask, make sure that you are connected to the same timeline. You say their name in this lifetime, you say your name in this lifetime, you imagine a calendar date on like a point on the map, like a red dot on a calendar. That's what you do. You have to be extra cautious about this because you're not going to get you're not going to get accurate information. You're not, because it's a moving target. If that person's on a different time frame or timeline and you're in like back reminiscing about when you were together 5 years ago, it's not going to match up. It can't. It physically cannot. You're in different spaces. You can't. You cannot. So if somebody's going to be a reader and they're going to be reading you and your energy, they have to be so good to be spot on with that person or that situation, or you in this lifetime with the topic, like if it's a money thing or if it's a job thing or whatever, right here, right now. So it has to be very focused. You can't go into a psychic reading and have all sorts of questions about all sorts of things. Focused. So shorter readings, very specific. Do some cards and stuff and then get affirmations about it, or channel the higher self, because there is so much. I mean, to me, it's extraordinarily confusing, and I can read energy. Okay. 20 years. Seriously, 20 years. I'm clairvoyant, clairaudient, and clairsentient. And I have been so fucking psychic the last couple of weeks. I have been channeling stuff like, I'm talking Nostradamus kind of shit. And I'm like, I don't know what to do with this, but I'm just going to write it down and share it with my psychic friend. And we're going to have a conversation about it until I know that it's okay to share. And in integrity, I can share, because I always have this very, very, very strong belief in my value system as a psychic person if I cannot do anything about it, then I'm not going to share it. Like, I'm not going to share it for sensationalization, sensationalize. Oh my God. I would do it for a practical purpose, maybe in a small mentoring group where I'm going to teach people how to interpret information and also how to understand the important ethical piece of that. Just because you know doesn't mean you say. Okay. And that goes for any psychic that you're in a reading with at the moment also. They just because they know something doesn't mean that they should say it, because especially if it's not directly related to what you're asking or talking about, they should ask your permission to talk about this area. And then if you open up energetically for that, and if the energy is obvious that it's ready to release, that's exactly what they should be working with, not digging around your shit and trying to find out all the drama. I mean, and honestly, there are people that are not in integrity or just don't understand how to do psychic work. Oh my God, get me going on my soapbox. Don't understand the reverence in which you do this work, the devotion to the person, the devotion to the soul, to the empathic energy of the person you're talking to, because they are going to take it in and they're going to remember what you say. And you've got to be responsible with that information, and you've got to be damn accurate. So, caution of the timeline. It is not the time to be doing psychic readings unless you're doing it about who is texting me? Oh, interesting. Oh, I was going to talk about this today and I didn't. It's my cousin. Hi, cuz. Hi, Trace. I haven't seen you forever. Oh my gosh. Hi, honey. Hi. She's asking me about okay, I'm going to pause for a minute. I'm going to talk about some stuff. She's asking me about, since it's been 6 months today since my surgery, my open heart surgery. If you're new here, yeah. Been 6 months. Yeah, and I'm still on the journey of discovering what this means. what my longevity is, how my life's going to be now. I mean, because it's different. Things are different. I can't do some of the things like physically. I can't box. I can't. There's things I can't do. So I have to give myself permission to explore different ways for my movement instead of that, like, but there's some fun things you can do for exercise. Yeah, that's been working pretty good. And I'm, of course, walking and doing things like that. Movement is really important for me. I learned yesterday, you guys, I'm trying to remember to say it right. Ayurveda. Okay. I learned some things in my workshop yesterday about, I'm a Vata, obviously. I'm an air, right? Air and ether. You could probably figure that out, right? And I learned some things about my body and movement, how much I need it, and the flow and the way I need to be flowing and moving. So I don't have to do hardcore stuff. Like I don't have to do like intense workout, but I can dance and move my body. Like maybe I should do some salsa. I really thought about it. Or I'm thinking maybe hula hooping for yoga, like doing the hula hoop thing kind of thing. I just want to do something different. I want to be able to move my body in different ways, you know? So to keep it interesting and hopeful. So yeah, hey Trace, nice to see you if you're watching me. Hi. Big hugs to you, cuz. Oh my God, I love my cousins. They're awesome. I haven't seen them forever, but we just pick up like it's no big deal. You know what that's like, right? So yeah, so there's a lot. So I'm giving you the caution about having psychic readings right now. Okay. I think doing ancestor work in your family of origin line is totally okay and fine right now to bring that supportive circle for you. I don't know that past lives is a huge supporter for you right now. However, because timelines are so all over the place, you could access them really easy. Like literally anybody could do a past life thing right now, like anybody. And if you know me from my work previously, you know that I have real strong opinions about past life work because I really believe that psychic information, intuitive information, energetic stuff needs to be practical. You have to be able to apply it somehow. And even maybe, I don't know if practical is the right word because I think if it supports your healing, if it supports your ability to release and move on, yes. I mean, that's great. If it brings a new gift into your awareness that you can embrace and embody, great. But just knowing something doesn't make it totally right and doesn't make you accept it either. So if you know who somebody that you were in a past life, let me just tell you from a person who knows who I've been in some of my past lives, it doesn't really help. Because I'm still me here now. Here now. I mean, it might give me a little more confidence about the work I do and how damn good I am at it. But that's about it. So it just enhances the skills I already have. It doesn't help. If you're going to spend a shit ton of money on past life regression or effort or work on understanding your past life, maybe you should focus on the present lifetime and doing your own healing here, the traumas you've had in this lifetime, the relationship you have with your children, the relationship you have with your parents, the relationship you have with the land you live on, the relationships you've had in business and in work, and the repetitive patterns. Like I'm working on some divine feminine stuff with women, working with women, and that the energy of trust and the wounds of like betrayal, which some people might call in the divine feminine circles like a sisterhood wound. But for me, it's got a little bit of its own slant. It's a little more of a distrusted energy that kind of comes from lineage for me and of women in particular. And so there's a lot there for me to work with and unpack. And so I've been working with that. And yeah, there's just a lot. I'm feeling like I want to share with you a couple of cards that I got this morning before doing this work here today with you on our Sunday morning coffee while I was making my coffee. Did you see my YouTube short about that? I like to share with you guys legit. I don't care. I have no makeup on. I look like somebody ran me over. I mean, which, if you have dogs, you kind of feel like that sometimes in the morning, right? Like you're like, oh God, I know I'm outside, whatever. I also shared it on Facebook Above Life channel, trying to be there a bit. So I'm posting some resources over there for you. Stuff that I like that inspires me. I'm sharing on Facebook Above Life channel. And this morning, so I got my handy dandy journal. I love this one. Oh, it smells so good. I love this one. It's not real leather, by the way, but it just smells good. Sensory. Ooh, scent. Ooh, we did that. Ooh, we activated senses when we did the rose spray. Yes, yes. Okay. I did some cards this morning for myself. And you know that I love this deck, this medicine woman deck. You know that I like it. So cards are a tool. Okay. You don't have to be some certified, registered, whatever person to use them. Use them for yourself. Go on Amazon, scroll on down, and something that catches your eye. I am very visual. So the stuff that catches my eye and the art always like gets me. I'm like, oh, I love that. And so I buy it. And if it's not your jam, just set it aside like a book. When you buy a book, you get all excited and you want to read it, but then you're like, it gets you and you're like, and you set it aside. And then all of a sudden, 6 months later, a year later, you're starting to read that dang book. It's the same thing with card decks. Okay. They're just like flashcards for little kids. This one is, let me grab this is the Medicine Woman deck. This one, super grounding and earthy. This is the one. I love this one, you guys. This is a good one. I know I should have links to these, but I don't. Monetize, right? I love this one because this one's very grounded for the work that I'm doing in my own personal program with my own personal mentor. And the card that I got is Winter. And I started this conversation with you talking about the sun and the solar energy and the sensory energy of that vitamin D and that just that warmth. I love that sun energy, and it's kind of divine masculine, which I love that energy. I'm very connected to masculine energy within me. And I got the card Winter, which seems the opposite, right? But what is opposite? Balance. It's about balance. And Winter symbolizes, for me, when I connect with it, when I connect with this card, this for me personally, I'm going to start with my interpretation and then you glean yours. Very important. Okay. You glean yours. It's your perspective that matters. It's your life, right? So live it. Okay. Okay. Use your discernment. But here's where I start with this. For me, it feels very much like a time when I have rest. I'm internal. I'm dropping into my core, my belly. I'm like kind of like a hibernation energy, but not. I'm not disconnecting or unplugging, but I'm recognizing that I'm going to need rest. Even though it's sunny and I want to go walk 5 miles, bitch, if I do that, I will be passed out on the road. They would have to do the AED thing and be trying to like revive me again right now. Okay. We are not at that place. Okay. We are not at that place. So don't get too far ahead of myself, right? But stay here. Stay in that balance of the resting while you're active, resting, active, or external, internal, external, internal. The shit that's going on outside in the news that's bugging you so bad, take whatever the underlying lesson or message is about it and work on that in yourself. That's how you change things. That's how the empaths are going to save the world. I am not kidding you. Thank God for this younger generation. They're so sensitive. They're so sensory. They're like, yeah, we're not doing it that way. We're doing it our way. I'm like, yeah, you go. I don't understand it necessarily, but I'm like, yes, yes. So this is the rest. This is the drop in. Listen inside. You are the wise one. You are the wise woman. You are the one with the answers for you. You are the wisdom keeper. Yes, that's true. That's what intuition is. This says, hey, use your dang intuition. That's what it's saying right now. And look at that. And her mouth is covered up. Why? Because women in society are being shut up. They're being shut up. Right? The woman that can't speak or be heard? Are you kidding me right now? We are amplifying voices, my friend. That's what we're going to be doing, amplifying voices. Or maybe you're afraid to speak. Got to trust yourself. This is a time for turning inward and resting in the silence. You might be right on the precipice of a breakthrough. That might be what this is about, a breakthrough. And sometimes that happens after an intensive breakdown of things. It seems like everything's falling apart. And then all of a sudden, you're released. You were a prisoner and now you're free. So the color here is blue. It could be third eye energy, third eye chakra, vision. What do you vision for your future? Do something fun. Maybe get out a vision board. Do something creative. That's another sensory thing is vision. Color, maybe you paint. Maybe you get crayons out and you color. You get a color book and you color. Simple, simple, simple connections to that visionary channel. All right, that blue could also be a priestess energy for my divine feminine friends that are watching. And also that blue energy could be water element, which is my element for the year of 2024 because it helps with flow, energy flow. The water also is a nod to your heart chakra, you empathic person. This green vibrational energy also is a connection to the heart chakra. And the fact that the scarf holding her mouth shut or protecting her mouth, potentially protecting her words, that green energy is that alliance with the heart chakra. And it's also healing. It's also a very healing energy. So whatever you get from this for you, you might be zooming in on the 22. That might have a good energy for you. 2 + 2, 4? Hello, archangel energies. Nice balanced energies there. This might mean something different for you. Just feel into the vibe and write about in your journal, your handy dandy journal. This is a tool, right? Writing is very sensory. Pen on paper, extraordinarily sensory, very healing. I highly recommend it. All right, so I got that. And then I also used this card deck. Oh, I'm going to sneeze just a minute. This card deck is a Magdalene deck. The woman I was connected to yesterday at the True Nature Yoga Studio, she is a Magdalene. So she definitely has the Mary Magdalene vibe. So this is the Magdalene Rose Oracle, the woman that created this, and then the person that also I think she, the editor of this is one of my BFFs, my besties. So yeah, Magdalene Rose Oracle. I got 2 cards from that. Look at these. Aren't they pretty? They're so pretty. Nice rich red. Oh, there's the rose again, you guys. I think we're coming full circle here in the rose energy. We've got bud. And that's, again, another blue energy. Look at that. Look at that blue energy. Look at that blue energy, bud. So something is going to begin, or something is beginning here. Something is starting. We're clearing out the garden so that we can allow the goodness that's underneath to bloom, right? That's the springtime energy. Yeah, very beautiful. This feels like Delphi to me, personally. I'm just going to share my stuff with you because, that's my jam, I'm such an oracle. I love that. I feel that very strongly. Bud. Number 9, bud. There's a lot more to that card. I'm just going to keep it with the basics, okay? Basics. Rosebud. All right. And then this one, Devotrix. This is about devotion, the divine feminine energy. This is compassion energy. This pink, this very pinky energy to me is self-compassion. Being in devotion to yourself, being in devotion to that empathic nature of you, that sensory energy, feel the vibration of that, just that sweetness. This might be a nod to a grandmother. Oftentimes when I'm doing psychic work, when I'm doing actual mediumship, if I do that, I do it on a case-by-case basis. Like when somebody requests, if it's really strong, I need to do it, then I'll do it. Otherwise, I haven't been doing it much lately. But I always see pink for grandma energy. Pink. It could be a mom if she was older when she died, maybe. But pink I always see for grandma energy. So it's very nurturing energy, traditionally speaking. and very much compassionate energy, very nurturing and compassionate. All right. Okay, so that's that. Those are the energies that I got. That's what I got this morning on my in my morning routine that I did. So, all right, so we're gonna chat tomorrow. On Monday, I kind of want to talk about soul contracts. So we'll see if that's what is still alive and steady because of the timeline thing, because everything's all over the freaking place. I think it's a good idea to chat about that. I really want you to understand that you can still get intuitive information for yourself, but for somebody else to be doing it for you, it's tricky. And it has to really be focused, I think. That's how it looks to me. Or you have to have this long-term relationship with that person in order for them to be able to read you accurately. Okay. So that's also really good because that means you are responsible. You get to manifest. You get to create the life that you want right now. So the choices you make are really yours. Like you get to decide. You get to decide. It's not predetermined. It's not fated. Okay. The timelines, it's not fated. So we're going to talk about soul contracts tomorrow. I'm going to say hello to the chat real quick before we jump out. Oh, good morning to Daytona Beach, Florida. Hey, nice to meet you, babe. Hey, Dreamer. Good morning. Missy, hi. Hey, Nash, nice to see you. Let's see. Hello to Japan. Hey, love, nice to see you. All right, thank you so much for being here. As always, I hope that we've inspired your spirit and filled you with some hope today on our Sunday Morning Coffee podcast. It's got long today, didn't it? It's been long the last 2 weeks. I think I have a lot to talk about, apparently. So thank you so much for being here and indulging me with your coffee this morning. And I hope that I have encouraged you to live your life. This is your life. It really is yours. It is yours. So live it, please, please. Just live it. Thanks for being here.